Hey there, friends. Welcome to Just the Gems. I'm Brandon. And you know what? I'm tired of all the negativity. I started this channel in order to shame myself into playing all the video games I purchased and have never tried. But sometimes, instead of just criticizing ourselves for our foibles, we need to celebrate our victories. And that's what I want to do today and going forward. So I already have my series, The Stack of Shame, where I lay out all of the games for the various consoles that I've purchased and never played, and that's going to continue. But along with The Stack of Shame, I want to celebrate the games that I have played. Pat myself on the back a little bit.
Good boy.
Because life's too short to focus on the negative. So, I bring to you the first installment of The Pile of Pride. So, to cover the Stack of Shame episodes that I've already done, I first showed off my Switch collection, unplayed, and then I showed off my unplayed PlayStation 3 collection. So today, in this first episode of The Pile of Pride, I'm going to go through both the Switch and the PS3 games that I own and have played. In the future, I'll probably do the Pile of Pride at the same time as the Stack of Shame, just so that you can see the entire console collection that I have all in one go. But for now, we're going to play catch up and go through these two collections. It's a little bit of a tower of games here, so buckle in. We'll do Switch first. See how high I'm reaching? This is how high the stack is. It's up here. I'm not kidding. I'm being serious. Now, one thing I should say, you're going to notice, if you are of keen eye, that some of these games are sealed. And you're going to say, how on earth did you play that game, Brandon, if it's sealed? You're lying, and the truth isn't in you. Well, no. I have played these games. Sometimes I stupidly bought multiple versions of a game. So you'll see this with this first example, Ys Origin. Okay, now I've played Ys Origin and I own it on the Vita, but I experienced so much slowdown playing through that game that I thought, you know what, I bet you that the Switch port is better. I don't actually know that. Maybe I should have researched it a little bit. I wanted to pick up another copy of Ys Origin, also to support the series because I want Falcom Games to get all the love they can. And anything I can do to help, I'm happy to. So yeah, Ys Origin, fantastic action RPG. Really was pretty blown away by how great it actually was. I figured it would just be kind of a old school hack and slashy sort of thing, but actually it's fairly deep. And the storyline is really interesting. The Ys games, as you may or may not know, they don't super connect to each other in a lot of substantial ways. I mean, obviously, for the most part, the main character, Adol, is in all but this one. But still, they don't really connect. But it was kind of cool seeing kind of a prequel to the original Ys games. And I highly recommend it. Next up, some games from one of my favorite series, from one of my favorite creators, Takahashi-san. Love your work, man. You're never going to see this, but love you. I've got Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm going to say Xenoblade. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be pronounced Xenoblade and Xenogears and Xenosaga. I have been saying Xenogears and Xenosaga since I was a wee lad, and I'm probably just going to keep doing it, so please forgive me. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch. This was the version that I was actually able to play. I tried to play it on the 3DS, just didn't get anywhere with it. Was able to power my way through this one. Not crazy about the battle system. Pretty sure I put it on easy mode or something and forced my way through. Great story, fantastic voiceover, fantastic music. Just an all-around great game. Next up, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is the steelbook. It comes with the collector's edition. I purchased on the aftermarket for too much money. And wow, it just takes everything that's good about the first game and improves it. And most of the things that were bad about the first game and just fixes them in a lot of substantial ways. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, highly recommended. I also picked up Torna the Golden Country, the prequel spin-off DLC, I guess. But this did come out physically on a cart, came with this code. Don't look at that code, guys. That's mine. I already redeemed it anyway. So yeah, I mean, actually enjoyed the gameplay in Torna a little bit more even than in Xenoblade 2, but as an entire package, they're just wonderful. And then, of course, Xenoblade 3. I'm in the middle of this right now. I don't know. I'm 50 hours in, just about 50 hours. I'm on chapter 5. Don't know how many hours to expect. Don't know how many chapters to expect. Things are getting crazy where I'm at right now. Can't wait to get back and play some more, but gotta do this first. To the Moon. This is sort of an adventure game in the style of a JRPG from the 16-bit era. Very reminiscent graphically of Chrono Trigger, games like that. Just a really emotional story about aging and regrets. And boy, oh boy, am I describing a lot of what I think about these days. Ugh. Rough. But yes, this one is fantastic. I played it on PC when Limited Run was putting out these physical Switch versions. I really wanted to have a copy to have in the collection. Just a marvelous, marvelous short experience. Live Alive is a wonderful role-playing game from Square Enix. This remake is in the HD 2D style that they've really been pushing lately with games like Octopath Traveler and the upcoming Octopath Traveler 2, which I'm very excited about. Great game. I did a review of this game on this channel. I will put it somewhere up here. Check that out. Undertale. Also picked up the collector's edition for Undertale. Toby Fox, man, he gets it. You know, he seems to have grown up with the same sorts of games that I did, and he gets how to tell a good story with, you know, minimal graphics and really simple but addictive gameplay. It's just a masterpiece. I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot, but it is. Like, it just is. I can't get this out of here. I've been trying. I've been talking and trying, probably making a lot of noise on the microphone. But this pendant comes with the collector's edition and like a, I don't know, cloth thing. Doesn't matter. I just, I really wanted to support the game. I played it initially on PC, played through it in its entirety on the Switch, and really excited for more from him. I've played the first chapter of Deltarune, his follow-up. Have not played the second chapter yet, but I have that queued up and ready to go. Come on, guy. You have one job. It's to stay up here where I can talk into you. Stop sucking. The World Ends With You Final Remix. So I played the original World Ends With You on the DS. Loved it. Really got into the story. The gameplay was a little hard for my dumb brain. You're trying to do two things at once, essentially, on the top screen and the bottom screen. But I did make my way through it. I don't remember if there were difficulty options, but if there were, I definitely put it on easy. With this one on the Switch, I really wanted to play it on the TV. I knew they've changed the battle system around. I don't know if they've simplified it or maybe they made it worse. I don't know. I really wanted to play it on the TV, though, and it just was not fun at all on the TV. I understand that in handheld mode, it's a little bit closer to the original and probably more playable that way, but I don't know. I just really wanted to play it on TV. I have the follow-up game in my PS4 stack of shame, and I really want to play it, but I wanted to refresh myself on the first game first, so I'm either going to force myself to play through this, or maybe I'll just watch the anime series that they made out of the first game and call that my catch-up. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. This one I'm kind of cheating on with a little bit here. I did not actually play the Zodiac Age version of Final Fantasy XII. I played the OG on the PS2. I got this, as you can see, for $5 on clearance. Thanks, Justin. My buddy Justin picked this up for me. I don't know what that black dot is, censored. It's some nudity or something right there. But yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy XII was one that I really want to revisit it, which is why I've got the Zodiac Age edition here. I don't know, something about it didn't click with me on the PS2. I got most of the way through it, but I think that I would appreciate it more now as a little bit older, much older man, much older. So we'll give that a shot one of these days. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I also own the Xbox version, although I never played it on Xbox. This was the first and only version of the game I've ever played. The Tales series is marvelous. It's the series that got me into collecting. I mentioned before that my brother, who's obsessed with the Tales games, was like, you got to play these. What is wrong with you? And I realized, to my shame, he was right. I needed to play them, so I collected all of them. I have all of the American releases, a few of the Japanese releases, and wonderful series. Vesperia is definitely a highlight and you should check it out. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Love the Mario games. Who doesn't love the Mario games? The 3D Mario games are generally masterpieces, except for Sunshine, which is garbage, and I hate it. I seriously have never been... I can't think of a time in recent memory where I've been more frustrated playing a game than when I was playing Mario Sunshine on the Switch. I hate it so much. I played it all the way through. I didn't 100% it, but I beat it. You take a masterpiece of Mario 64, and it's amazing how much of a tightrope that game must have been walking, because you just tweak a couple of things one direction or another, and the whole thing falls apart. Feel free to send me your hate in the comments if you love Mario Sunshine and you don't want to hear some doofus like me talking trash about it, but I hate that game. I hate it so much. Thank you. Octopath Traveler. Also in Collector's Edition. When I heard kind of what it was about, the way the story was told, it did not seem like it would be up my alley, but it is just charming as heck. It is so much fun. Very grindy. I hope that they've adjusted some of that in the sequel. And then, I heard the Collector's Edition came with this flip book. So I was pretty excited because I was like, yeah, that would be perfect. This sort of graphical style would be perfect for a flip book, wouldn't it? Sort of like eye-popping sort of thing going on. And they did, true to their word, include a flip book in the Collector's Edition, but they super glued it to the box. It's like an integral part of the box for some reason. Just like, what were you thinking? Why couldn't this be a book? I just dropped the coin. Why couldn't this just be a book? Like, look at this. This is awesome. This stuff is great. Love this crap, man. But yeah, hampered by the fact that they made the ridiculous decision to attach it to the box. We got the coin, the currency, spider web on that. We're on a tight ship here. And a cloth poster, which doubles as a map of the world. I love collector's edition stuff like this. The coins and the bauble, the stuff that serves no real functional purpose. I don't know. I love it. Also, can we talk for a minute about the name Octopath Traveler? When they announced this, it was the working title, and I think they were like, yeah, this is goofy. This is nonsense. And it is. It's word salad, but it's got that good dressing on it. You know what I mean? It just sounds nice. Octopath Traveler. I think maybe they got a little too much encouragement from the fan community saying, no, your naming is great. This is fantastic. And they went a little too far. So then you get Triangle Strategy, which is the worst name for a game ever. Well, I thought that until they came out with the game Various Day Life, and then it was like, okay, you gotta stop. Let somebody on the localization side name the games, at least in America. You lost your privileges. Various Day Life, that was it. You've lost the privilege of naming it. I'm sorry. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This one I played on the PS3. This is another one I think that my buddy Justin picked up for me on clearance at Walmart. Great to have the portable version. If I ever do play this again, and I want to do so portably, I can do it here. I also have the remastered version on the PS4. Why do I have Ni no Kuni 3 different times? It's just an okay game. I don't know. It looks really pretty. Studio Ghibli, man. All right, let's cover the Zelda games in rapid fire. Okay, we've got obviously Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening remake, and we've got Skyward Sword HD. Have not actually busted into the HD version of Skyward Sword yet. Played it on the Wii, did not like it, but I'm willing to give it a second chance on the Switcheroonie. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say that it was their favorite Zelda game, but it's a Zelda game. I'll give it a shot. Give it another chance. Link's Awakening I thought was just a fun. The art style was so fun. So fun. And Breath of the Wild, I'm not going to spend any more of the internet's time talking about how great Breath of the Wild is. Just Google Breath of the Wild and you'll see pages and pages and videos of people singing the praises of Breath of the Wild. The weapon breaking sucks. The rest of it is just a masterpiece. Hades. Hades is another really great, I don't know if you would call it a dungeon crawler. It's like a roguelike. So every time you die, you kind of get started back at the beginning, but you retain certain things from your progress. The way they do this, it actually makes that process interesting for me. I don't typically like roguelike games because I don't want to have to play through everything again. Like, I like checkpoints. Get me to a checkpoint so that I can die and not feel like I've wasted my time. But the way Hades tells its story incorporates the fact that you are continually going through the same things over and over to further the story. And I think that's just a really smart way of handling that. I played this initially on the PC. My buddy Jeff got me that on PC and really enjoyed it. Wanted to have a physical copy. My wife got me this for Christmas or something recently. And yeah, great to have. The Grandia HD Collection. This is 1 and 2, Grandia 1 and 2 collected together. Leaving poor Grandia 3 out in the cold, not to mention Grandia Extreme. But these are fantastic games, and I have played both of them, not here. As you can see, it's sealed. I played the original Grandia on the PS1 and Grandia 2 on the PS2. But when I do want to play through these games again, and I will, because Game Arts, makers of the Lunar series, etc., wonderful developers. So I will play these again eventually, and I will be playing the HD versions. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Huh? Anybody? This is the waifu simulator / tactical role-playing game. This was my first Fire Emblem game that I played through to completion. I did actually play a little bit of Fire Emblem, the weird one on the 3DS that was different than all the other ones. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it up here somewhere. Great game. I feel like it got bogged down a little bit in some places. It felt a little bit slow in places that I didn't want it to. But overall, very enjoyable experience. I'm looking forward to the new game with the taffy-haired character. Looks very interesting. Crystar. This is one that I didn't know too much about going into it. And it ended up really surprising me. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. It's a dungeon crawler action RPG, and it's just, I mean, it's very basic in terms of its graphics, its animations. It feels really old in some ways, but the story and the voice work and just the overall presentation of the plot is so good, and it really caught me off guard. Really recommend it if you can handle the sort of monotonous dungeon crawling where, you know, every room looks the same as the last and you're fighting the same, I don't know, 8 or 9 enemies, barely palette swapped even over the course of 25 hours. There's a lot going against this game, but I still really liked it. So take that for what it's worth. And finally, on the Switch, Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 2 is great. Another Team Asano game. And I was a fan of the original, Bravely Default. I never really played much of the second Bravely game on the DS, the 3DS rather. But this one, very good. Not as grindy. It didn't feel quite as grindy to me as the first one did. Highly recommend the Bravely Default games if you can get your hands on them. All right, that's my Switch collection. That's the pile of pride for my Switch collection. It's actually occurring to me how long this video is. So I'm thinking maybe we're gonna break this up into 2. And I will try to put these out pretty close together so you can enjoy them at your leisure, where you're not committing to a 40-minute video with a middle-aged man talking about his video games. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like the video, please subscribe, and until next time, bye.